and we're back again. I'm Shania, and I'm going to hand over once again to Auntie Ariane.
Right, thank you so much. Is Shania, is that? Shania, thank you. All right, so yes, it is Story Corner, so I must have a full-length story for you, right? So this morning, we're going to read Big Bushy Mustache by Gary Soto and illustrated by Joe Cepeda. Cepeda. Are you hearing the pronunciation of my words?
Yes.
Cepeda? Soto? Any idea what this story might be about? Besides a big bushy mustache? Something with some Spanish. Anything else? Mexican maybe? Anything else? What is a mustache? Anybody knows what a mustache is? It's hair on your chin, on your above your lip. Yes. So as you can see, it's a big bushy mustache, and we're seeing two people on the front cover there. So let's see what this story is about. Is a mustache gonna talk? Is a mustache gonna go missing? We don't know. Let's find out. Listen carefully. Yes. People always said Ricky looked just like his mother. He has beautiful eyes, exactly like yours, Rosa, said Mrs. Sanchez, the crossing guard, as his mother took him to school one morning. Thanks, Ricky's mother shouted and turned a big smile on it. Have a good day, mijo. Then she gave him a kiss. Ricky went into school frowning. He was a boy. Why didn't people say he looked like his father? That morning, his teacher, Mrs. Cortez, brought out a large box from the closet and set it on her desk. She took out a hat and a sarape. She took out a sword and raised it toward the ceiling. Class, for our next unit, we're going to do a play about Cinco de Mayo. That's a holiday that celebrates the Mexican victory over the French army. So who said Mexican just now? So you're on point so far. Very good. Mrs. Cortez looked around the room. Her eyes settled on Ricky. Ricky, do you want to carry the sword? Ricky shook his head. No. How many of you like that in school? When your teacher asks you to do something and you're like, no. We'll see. Do you want to wear this white shirt? She asked. Again, Ricky shook his head. No. And he shook his head to the sombrero, the captain's hat, the toy pistol and holster, the purple cape, the tiny Mexican flag. He was just saying no. But when Mrs. Cortez took out a big bushy mustache, something clicked. This time, Ricky nodded yes. So, we see Ricky wanted to wear what? A mustache. Do you want to wear a mustache?
No.
You want to wear a mustache? No, okay. For the rest of the day, the class practiced their parts. Some of the children played Mexican soldiers. Some of the children played French soldiers. All the while, Ricky played with his mustache. It tickled his lip. It made him feel tough. Do you have anything that makes you feel tough when you're not so confident about yourself? Anybody? No? Yes. What do you have? Pardon? When you're playing it. He's killed me. When school was over, Mrs. Cortez told the class to leave the costumes in their desk. Ricky took off his mustache, but instead of leaving it behind, he put it in his pocket. He wanted to take it home. He wanted to surprise his father when he got home from work. Maybe mommy will take a picture of us, she thought. He could stand next to his father in front of the new car. After Ricky left the school, he pressed the mustache back onto his lip. He felt grown up. Now, Ricky took the mustache without asking his teacher. What do we call that? Stealing. And do we steal? Because we'll end up in? Jail. Very well. Don't end up in jail. A man on the street called out, "Hello, soldier." Ricky passed a woman carrying groceries. She said, "What a handsome young man." He passed a kindergartner who said, "Mister, would you help me cross the streets?" So everybody's recognizing him now, isn't? Ricky laughed and ran home. He climbed the wooden steps, pushed open the door, and rushed into the kitchen where his mother was peeling apples. "Hola, mommy," he said. "I am hungry." He looked up and waited for her to say something about his big, bushy mustache. But she only smiled and handed him a slice of apple. So maybe that's why she didn't say anything about the mustache, because there's no mustache. Where did it go? Mustache shopping? "Mijo, wash your hands and help me with the apples," she said. Ricky's smile disappeared. Didn't she notice? "Look, mommy, it's mi bigote, great," he said, tugging her apron. His mother looked at him. "Bigote? What are you talking about?" "This one," he said. He touched his lip, but the mustache was gone. He felt around his face. It was not on his cheek. It was not on his chin. He looked down to the floor, but it wasn't there either. Where do you think the mustache went? You think somebody took it off his face? But wouldn't he have noticed? It may have fallen off. All right, let's see. "I must have lost it on my way home," Ricky thought. Without saying anything, he ran out the front door. He retraced his steps, eyes wide open. He dug through a pile of raked leaves. He parted the tall grass that grew along the fence. He looked in the street between the parked cars and in flower beds. He jumped with hope when he saw a black thing. But when he bent over to pick it up, he discovered that it was a squashed crayon. Ricky sat on the curb and cried. The mustache was gone. So look at him, they're looking sad. But I'm not feeling too sorry for him, you know. Are you feeling for him?
No.
I don't like people who steal. I really don't. Let's see what happens. When he got home, Ricky told his mother what had happened. She wiped her hands on the dish towel and hugged him. At dinner, he wanted to tell Papi too, but the words wouldn't come out. They were stuck in his throat. He watched his father's big bushy mustache move up and down when he chewed. Under his breath, Ricky whispered, "Mustache," but his father didn't hear. He talked about his work. After dinner, Ricky went into his bedroom with a black crayon. He colored on a sheet of paper, then cut it into the shape of a mustache. He taped it to his mouth and stood before the mirror, but it didn't look real. He tore it off, crumpled it, and tossed it on the floor. In the closet, Ricky found a can of black shoe polish. He looked in the mirror and smeared a line over his lip, but it was too flat, not thick and bushy at all. Finally, he took out a pair of old shoes. The strings were black. He cut them into short strips and bound them together with a rubber band. He held the creation above his lip. It looked like a black mop and smelled like old socks. Do you think that will work as a mustache?
No.
But it's quite creative, to cut that real quickly. That night, after he put on his pajamas, Ricky went into the living room where his father was listening to the radio. "Papi, I lost my mustache. Me bigote." His father laughed. What mustache?" Ricky climbed into his father's lap and told him everything. His father smiled and told him a story about a hen that tried to become a swan. It was a good story, but it still didn't solve his problem. Tomorrow he would have to face Mrs. Cortez, so now he's thinking about the consequences. The next morning, Ricky got out of bed slowly. He dressed slowly. He combed his hair slowly. He ate and chewed his breakfast slowly. He raised his eyes slowly when his father came into the kitchen. "Buenos dias," he greeted Ricky. Then Ricky's mother came into the kitchen. "Mijo, I have a surprise for you," she said. What do you think it is?
The mustache.
The mustache? Where is she hiding it?
Behind her back.
Behind her back. Where is she hiding it?
Behind her back.
Behind her back. Very well. Mommy held out a closed fist and let it open like a flower. Sitting in her palm was a mustache. It was a big and bushy mustache. "You found it," Ricky shouted happily. "Well, yes and no," Mommy said as she poured herself a cup of coffee. Ricky pressed the new mustache to his lip. He ate his cereal and the mustache moved up and down just like his father. Do you see? But something was different about his father's smile. His lip looked funny. Ricky jumped and threw his arms around Papi's neck. Gracias, Papi. Thank you, he cried. That's okay, Papi told him. But next time, listen to your teacher. Then Papi touched his son's hair softly and, hey, now I look just like you. Ricky grinned and smiled. So did the father shave off his mustache to give his son? Maybe he did because the mustache is gone. Got Auntie Nails, right. When Ricky walked to school, he carried the mustache not on his lip, but safely in his pocket. It wasn't a big bushy disguise anymore, but it was a gift from his papi. The end. Now, do any of you ever want to be somebody else? Or try to be somebody else? Why not?
Because that wouldn't be good connecting something bad happens.
Something bad, like what will happen? You don't know? People will mistake your mistaken identity, not so?
Yes.
All right. Anything about the story that stood out to any one of you that you want to talk about right now? Careful. Superstar has some power. Right. Anything from the story that jumped out at you that you wanted to make sure and mention before we leave? No? Why do you think he wanted to wear this mustache so much? To be like his father. To be like his role model, maybe? Do any of you have role models?
No.
Somebody that you want to grow up to be just like? Not exactly like, but close to? Yes, Jordan. Who you want to grow up to be? Just now, Jordan is on the floor. Your daddy? Tell us why. You must have a reason. He teaches you to do his work? What type of job does he do? So you want to drive a tractor? Okay, that looks pretty hefty. All right, anybody else? Big bushy mustache, yes?
Daddy
You want to be like your daddy
and mommy.
and your mommy together? Would you wear earrings to be like your mommy? What you'll do to be like your mommy? Is it something about the way she looks or her personality that you want to be like? Because if you're not going to wear the earrings and the heels, there's something about mommy that you might have inside of you. What is that? Why do you want to be like your mommy? To be nice. She's kind? Very good. Yes?
And my dad's
1 second. You want to be like a teacher, Miss who? And what school is Miss from? Orangefield Hindu. Tell us why.
because she's kind and she's a great teacher and she cares about everyone.
Very good. And that's your current Standard 5 teacher. All right. Well, say good morning to her. Look at the camera and say hi, Miss. All right. So we're going to say, goodbye. Yes, we want ready to go? No, man. Chucky's coming up. All right. So we're going to take a short break and we'll hand you over to Is Shania? Yes, to Shania.
Thank you once again, Auntie Ariane, for that beautiful story.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And all children at home, remind your parents to call 342-4980 so you can be part of this show. Parents, remember that on Thursday, 15th of October, in the Arima Library, we will be having our show there from 10 a.m. Coming up next, there will be Mr. Roger Chuck God.
Gets a little lonely, all these empty rooms, just watching you.